Hey there, Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So, if you clicked on this video, then you're likely pretty curious about the potential rerun banners coming to Honkai Star Rail, and thus want to save all of your Stellar Jades accordingly in order to pull for your favorite unit, right? Well, you're definitely in the right place, because today we're going to go over all of the rumored upcoming rerun banners coming to the game between version 4.1 to version 4.3, while also quickly touching on the new limited characters in each patch first, so everything makes sense in context. Before we begin though, just a quick reminder that everything discussed here is based on rumors and unofficial information, so nothing is set in stone and things can still change at any point in the future. With all of that out of the way, let's begin without wasting any more of your precious time. Starting things off with version 4.1, the new limited banner is expected to feature Ashvale, a 5-star lightning element character that follows the path of the hunt. From early kit breakdowns, Ashvale plays the role of a sub-DPS and support hybrid with the ability to unleash powerful follow-up attacks on enemies marked with his skill and ultimate, while also providing huge buffs for other members of his team. What makes Ashvale particularly interesting is that he doesn't function like a traditional hunt hypercarry that just wants to take every turn and delete one target. Instead, his value seems to scale based on how well your team can capitalize on his marking mechanic. That means he could age very well over time as more follow-up or synergy-based units get introduced. So, even if he isn't the flashiest damage dealer at launch, his long-term team value might actually be what makes him stand out. After Ashvale's launch in Phase 1, the first rerun banner expected alongside him is Feixiao. Feixiao remains one of the most consistent damage dealers in the roster thanks to her strong single-target damage and versatility, especially in modes that reward consistent damage through follow-ups over single bursts or heavy AoE hits. She's the type of unit that rarely feels bad to bring into endgame content because her damage profile is reliable and not overly conditional. If you missed her originally and you're looking to round out your DPS options, this rerun is one of the safer picks you can make. She doesn't require extremely specific teammates to function, which is important if your roster isn't fully built out yet. For newer players especially, consistency often matters more than flashy mechanics. Then in Phase 2 of version 4.1, we're rumored to see Boothill returning. Boothill is known for his strong single-target damage and boss-clearing prowess, particularly in break-focused setups. He excels in scenarios where enemies have tough break bars and reward precise burst windows. The way this pairing is set up, a follow-up / synergy unit like Ashvale plus standalone damage dealers like Feixiao and Boothill gives players real options. You can either lean into building more complex synergy-based compositions, or you can simply strengthen your account with a proven boss killer. That flexibility in 4.1 makes it a surprisingly strategic patch, rather than just a pull or skip situation. Moving on into version 4.2, this patch is expected to be one of the most impactful of the 4X cycle so far, mainly because it's where we're likely to see two very anticipated units make their debuts. In Phase 1, Silver Wolf SP is expected to be the featured limited banner. Early info and discussions suggest this SP form will play the role of an Elation main DPS centered around shared buffs like punchline stacks and aggressive burst windows. Unlike her original version, which focused heavily on debuff utility, this SP variant appears to lean much more into offensive scaling and team-wide synergy stacking. If that ends up being accurate, she could become one of the cornerstone units for Elation-based teams moving forward. That alone already puts pressure on your Stellar Jade savings, because main DPS releases tied to a newer path mechanic tend to shape the meta for multiple patches afterward. While in Phase 2 of the update, we'll be getting Evanesh's banner. She's rumored to be a physical element unit that follows the path of Elation, and similar to Silver Wolf SP, also plays the role of a main DPS centered around a mono Elation setup. What's interesting here is that we may be looking at two DPS characters in the same patch that both benefit from similar team archetypes. That creates a real decision point for players. Do you commit to one and fully invest in their best supports? Or do you try to grab both and split resources? Historically, patches like this are where players overextend their savings. For the reruns in version 4.2, Phase 1 is rumored to bring back Sparksy alongside Silver Wolf SP. This pairing makes a lot of sense if Silver Wolf really does revolve around stacking mechanics or team buffs, because Sparksy is one of the strongest enablers of those interactions. She amplifies synergy-focused comps extremely well. So if you skipped her the first time, this rerun practically invites you back in with a character who now has even more team versatility than before. It's a classic example of a rerun gaining value over time rather than losing it. Then in Phase 2 of version 4.2, alongside Evanesh's banner, Yao Guang is expected to rerun. Yao Guang is another potential synergy driver for Elation or Punchline-related teams, making her a very complementary pick if you're planning to invest into Evanesh's kit. This classic Hoyoverse pairing strategy of putting a new unit next to a well-loved returning unit that enhances their performance often tempers pull decisions by giving players two different reasons to consider spending. Instead of just pulling for a brand new character, you're tempted to complete the team at the same time. Next up is version 4.3, which has some very interesting rerun news as well. This patch is expected to feature Blade SP in Phase 1 as the new limited unit, and in Phase 2, a brand new preservation character rumored to be Pearl from the Stone Hearts is speculated to appear. Blade SP could potentially reinvent how his playstyle functions, especially if his new kit adjusts his HP drain mechanics or introduces new scaling interactions. SP variants tend to modernize older characters in ways that bring them back into relevance. Meanwhile, Pearl being a preservation unit suggests we may see a return to stronger defensive utility in the meta. For a while now, the focus has leaned heavily toward damage optimization. If Pearl offers powerful mitigation, shielding, or hybrid sustain tools, she could quietly become one of the most important long-term investments, depending on how difficult future content becomes. For the reruns in version 4.3, Phase 1 is rumored to bring back Hyacine. Hyacine offers both sustain and utility with her strong supportive kit, and depending on how the new units shape up, she could be one of those comfort picks that stabilizes your teams for high-difficulty content. Then in Phase 2, Castor Ice is expected to rerun. Castor Ice remains a powerful damage dealer with sizable AoE damage potential and utility across many team builds. Her rerun offers another strong DPS option for players who may have missed her original banner, and gives players a reason to pull even in the second half of the patch. When you step back and look at the rerun roadmap from version 4.1 through version 4.3 as a whole, it becomes pretty clear that the banner structure is intentionally designed to test your planning. Each patch mixes high-hype new releases with reruns that fill very different roles, whether that's strengthening your damage output, expanding team synergy, or improving overall consistency in tougher content. And what makes this stretch especially tricky is how interconnected some of these units appear to be. Pulling one character may increase the value of another rerun, which then tempts you to spend more than originally planned. That domino effect is something you really have to watch out for. Because of that, this stretch of updates is less about pulling on impulse and more about understanding what your account actually needs. Some banners will tempt you with raw power, others with long-term synergy value, and some might simply offer comfort or flexibility. If you try to go for everything, you'll very quickly run into Stellar Jade issues. So the smartest approach here is to think ahead, map out your priorities, consider how many pulls you realistically have saved, and be honest about whether you're building for meta strength, personal preference, or long-term flexibility. If you plan carefully, you can walk out of version 4.3 with a significantly stronger and more cohesive roster. If you don't, you might find yourself scrambling when the next major meta-defining unit gets announced. So that's everything we currently know about the upcoming rerun banners coming to Honkai Star Rail from version 4.1 to version 4.3. If you found this breakdown helpful, feel free to leave a like, And don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the latest HSR banner news and information. That's it for now, so I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.